This week on HMP, we press our luck as well as roll the dice and gamble on yet another foreign film wager. And we've got to ask ourselves, how many more gambling references can I make in this intro? Well, it's just one more. This week, we're crossing our fingers and we're going for broke as we're feeling lucky here on Half-Ass Movie Podcast. I got it. Whoop, wrong button. Hey, this button should be what we push. Welcome back, you dirty babies, the Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Sure, we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and he don't need luck. He makes his luck. Sweet Sean Kovacs from the internet.
You want to play against me? You have no chance. Your gift is not strong enough.
And he's been combing his hair and with molasses. He's been combing his hair with molasses since the third grade. Bruce Leslie's not here, but I wrote that and I wanted to do it. Even though I screwed it up, I still wanted to say it eventually. So Bruce is out this week, but no worries. We are here in full force with HMP because we are back talking a foreign film. This week, we are talking Intacto from 2001. Spoiler alert, next week movie is going to be 2001 as well. I don't know what it is, but 2001 is knocking around HMP right now, but we'll get to that soon. But Intacto, Sean, this was you. We'll get to all this kind of good stuff, but I had never actually seen this one before, despite having heard about it so many times.
Well, you heard it so many times from me because I constantly was talking about this movie forever. From the time we had a podcast starting in 2014, I believe, I was like, maybe someday we'll be able to review Intacto. That day is here. And my goodness, I have not seen this movie in forever. It was good to see my old pals again and some old Intacto. And I don't know how you saw this movie. I saw it on Tubi.
Yes.
Free with ads. And let me tell you, it's a good thing it's free because that transfer, even I noticed how bad it was. And I generally don't have that kind of eye for things.
You know how happy that makes me? That I didn't have to be the person who brings this up and your eyes just go to the back of your head going, Jesus, Adam, it's fine. No, it did look like crap.
It is a really, really bad transfer. The first time I saw this was on my buddy's Blu-ray. And so, no, Blu-ray couldn't have been because it was about 2005. It was definitely a DVD. But, however, that was way better than what we saw this week on Tubi. But it's free, you know?
Yeah. It looked like a VHS dub.
It definitely does. And the sound is terrible. And what?
I have to push back on that one because surprisingly, even with stereo, I thought the sound at times when the big action stuff comes up, dialogue kind of sounds shit. You're not wrong there. But when it comes to some of the action and some of the big things that end up happening, surprised at how decent it sounded.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm glad for that because that's one of the conversations we can take off the table now. That's great.
Yeah, I was worried about it. I was just like, oh man, this picture's terrible. But like there were moments where I'm like, sounds pretty good for all. I mean, like simulating some surround with stereo. I was shocked at how decent it sounded. So.
Nice, good.
But we'll get into all of those fun things because we got a great episode here for you. But before we jump into that, we do want to remind everybody that this here is a live show over on YouTube. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are out on YouTube talking whatever movies they have. So if you're out and about, come by, check us out. Or if you're like Alex and you want to have like a lady in your life and you don't want to just be here during the live show, it is available afterwards. I'm busting his balls because I know that's why Alex isn't in the chat this week, because that's what he told me. He's like, I got a lady around here. I'm like, oh yeah, you're not HMPing it up for a lady. Okay, I see where you're at. I get it. That's fine.
I get it. Good job by you, Alex.
That's okay. But you can check it out later and stuff as well. That's where we kind of stream our stuff. So we'd love it if you came out there, joined us, jumped on that hype train there. If you're on mobile, just swipe to the right there on the little thing that's right above the comments and hit the hype button. That gets this show out to more and more people. Or if you don't even see the hype button, for the love of Pete, just hit that thumbs up button there, and that gets this out to more people. We are rounding almost 24,000 subscribers over there on the YouTube. We are knocking on that door real fast there, and I'm excited about that coming up soon. So help us out with that one. And if you want to be one of the amazing dirty babies that helps put this show together, go to patreon.com/HMP. Get pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone. All of these fine people take whatever amount of money that they think that this show is worth. They put that in a dollar form. They send it our way over at Patreon. They get extra stuff in the meantime, and this show keeps flowing as well. And you don't have to sit here and listen to a whole bunch of ads and a bunch of bull crap that, let's be frank, there's so many podcasts that you listen to where you have an hour's worth of content and you get, honest to God, like 15 minutes worth of ads, and we don't want to have to do that to you here. And we do that because of the money coming in from between YouTube and Patreon. And we want to thank all those fine people. And who wants to listen to ads? Golly, that is just the worst. It just goes, here's an insincere thing for a thing I don't care about. We don't do that over here. Just hit that like button. We really appreciate it. Well, let's get into it. In the Dinger Zone. I'm sorry, I forgot about the Dinger Zone. This week's Dinger Zone. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. That's right. There has been some brouhaha over at Star Wars. That little lady named Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. And we're going to talk about what that means, the future of Star Wars. And, listen, as big-time Star Wars fans, we want nothing but for great Star Wars. God, do we want great Star Wars? We don't want bad things. We want good things. And we're going to talk about how, the good, the bad, the possible challenges that might come up with a little bit of power structure and stuff changing around there. That'll be available here just after the show on the live stream. And then after the live stream and everything like that, the next day, we just chop that little part off there, and that's only available to the people that support it. It's patreon.com/HMP. We really appreciate those guys and all of you fine people for keeping this podcast going all these years, man. We really appreciate it. Patreon.com/HMP. Join up at any level. All right, let's get into it. Here is the IMDb plotline for Intacto, or AKA Intact, from 2001. As we all know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. In a world where luck can be taken from a person by a luckier person's touch, a small group of lucky people compete to be the luckiest, and for the other contestants, luck. You kind of lost a little bit there at the end where I see what you were doing, IMDb, but you stuck the landing more or less. And I will say this, because this is different from what I normally do. I think that you should have known this going in, because I didn't. And I feel like had I known the IMDb plotline a little bit, I might have not have been quite as lost from the beginning. We'll get into all of that kind of stuff. But there was a point where I'm just going like, what am I watching here? What's going on here? But we'll get into it. This is written by Andres M. Copel. He did a lot of Spanish language movies, as you might imagine. He did The Last Archer, The Vault, and 2 episodes of the TV series The Immortal. Also co-written and directed by Juan Carlos Frenzdello. He also he directed 28 Weeks Later. He did Intruders with Clive Owen from 2011. And in 2024, he directed Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown on Netflix. This is starring Leonardo Chabriglia. I'm going to screw these names up because they're all Spanish. Esibo Poncela, Monica Lopez. Thanks, Monica, for making my life easy. Antonio Deschamps and Max von Sydow, who we all know for so long. Sean, why Intacto?
So around 2005, I am working on a job where the movie is taking a long time for everyone else to get ready. And so we had a ton of downtime on this movie. And my buddy, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to need movies, like, or TV shows or whatever you got. And this guy who I was friendly with, but not friends. And I have that caveat because he is not someone that you, I don't know if he has any actual friends, because he is a very difficult person. However, he has terrific taste, like amazing taste. His cars are terrific. The way he dresses is amazing. He knows exactly where the best food is in a town. He's one of these guys. Mm-hmm. But my God, he's hard to deal with. And so when I send this flare out, hey, give me some movies that I've never seen before. He's like, oh, Intacto, one of the best. He says that and Catch 22, the original Catch 22 from the 60s. And so I was like, okay. So watch Catch 22 first. Much easier hill to climb there. Loved it. And I was like, okay, I think we're ready for Intacto. So I watched Intacto, and it blows my ass away. I could not believe it. I was like, this is just a regular ass American movie that's being made. It just happens to be in Spanish. Like, it looks great. The acting is awesome in it. And I got to say, having seen it this week, it clearly and definitely still has some of that Pulp Fiction DNA in it that movie still had. Like, I thought that maybe because The Matrix had come out in 1999, that maybe I would see some of that in it. But having watched it this week, it's not The Matrix DNA that's in it. It's a little bit of Pulp Fiction that's in this thing. And so it doesn't explain, like you were saying earlier. So like, it doesn't explain itself. So you kind of have to figure out what's going on. And that's kind of like, it's almost like an actual honest to God mystery box, but it's not a fake mystery box like a J.J. Abrams, hey, let's wait for the last Star Wars sequel to come out and all will be explained. Like, is an actual honest to God mystery box where he knows everything that's going to happen in this movie. Like, the people who made this movie, they have answers for everything. It's just going to take you some time to get to it. And then they make you, the viewer, figure it out, which I love about this movie, because there's certain moments in this thing where you're like, what are we doing? And I'll be honest with you, even now, this is probably the third or fourth time I've seen Intacto. I still don't really understand what's happening in that one scene with the as they call them, captives. And she takes her blindfold off and blah blah blah. Someone smarter than me has to explain that to me. What's actually going to happen? How are you going to figure out all the luck of that thing? Because I really kind of sort of don't understand that scene with the dice and everything else, and everyone's wearing a blindfold. I kind of sort of don't know what's happening in that scene.
Well, I thought when they're rolling the dice, it was kind of just like, let's see, you know what your craps roll is, essentially, and it wasn't 7 or 11 for their tosses, so that was like oh, the luck gone now, because if I was lucky, I would have rolled a 7 or 11 on this, on this pair of die.
I do have a conspiracy theory about this movie, which we'll get to in a little bit. But to get to like my opening, like thoughts and how I came about watching this movie and all that stuff. The next thing, you're right, we're setting the stage here. So this movie has become one of those movies. Whenever someone who I think is of the right temperament asks me about a movie they've never seen, this is one of the movies I bring up. But it has to be a certain type of person. It has to be someone who doesn't think that that all the Transformers movies are awesome. It has to be somebody who doesn't is literally like, I love those Fast and the Furious movies, but my problem is there's not enough Dom Toretto in them. Like, those people, I wouldn't recommend this movie to.
I skip over Fast and Furious 2 because there ain't no Dominic Toretto in it. And if you ain't got no Dominic Toretto in your Fast and Furious movie, what's the point? I only watched part 3 for his 2-second cameo at the end, going, oh, thank God I'm gonna get some more Dom come the next one.
And this is probably I'm post head up my own ass art student at this point. I'm past that because I'm working in the business at this point. But I there's still a little bit of that in me. So I'm like, oh, this is a movie for smart people. It's not actually. This is really a movie for people who are like, you know what? I want to feel smart. And so
I was going to say, for the person that wants to feel like they are a super brainy person, but yet you can't quite grasp the brainy movies out there, this movie will make you feel like that brainy guy going like, bro, I got this, man. This is so wild. And it's not as deep as you think, pal.
This movie is a movie for people that are like, I'm a little bit cultured. I watched this Spanish language movie. It's called Intacto.
Now, thank Christ, at least a fourth of it was in English, because otherwise, I need a break. I need a break because them words be coming fast.
Look, Max von Sydow does hit that Spanish accent when he's speaking with the Spanish words, though. He will do it.
Oh, they rock with the 3 or 4 in there, going like, yeah, there you go. Why not?
So good. So this is one of those movies for me that, like, if you really like this movie, I think we can be friends, like that kind of thing. Like if somebody were to say to me, oh, you know what movie I saw and I really like it? It's this Spanish language movie called Intacto. Immediately, I'm probably going to buy you a drink, like that kind of thing, because it's one of those movies where you have to find it. This isn't even like a gigantic Spanish movie. Like in Spain, this is not some like huge like, oh, and this made all the money in 2001. It's not that kind of movie.
$1.5 million worldwide or something like that. This movie made nothing.
Right. And it did okay for a Spanish movie, a movie shot in Spain. Well, I think it's shot in Spain.
Probably.
But it definitely was released in Spain. It's not Spain's greatest hit. It's just, to me, a great movie. I love this movie so very much.
And while it doesn't look like wildly cheap and crappy or anything, it doesn't purport itself to be a high budget flick by any stretch of the imagination. This was put together like we have an idea and some style to put together, and that's what we're selling with this as opposed to big giant set pieces and all that kind of stuff, because you don't really get that here.
Right. There are the competitions. And the competitions are really what set this movie apart, because that's where the cleverness of the writing and the directing really comes into play. Like, think about how cool it is. Like your small graphic for Intacto with the I guess that's a lightning bug. I don't even know what kind of bug that is.
Giant bug that's on that, which is hilarious that this is something that is considered. Hey, listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all of you guys in a room. It's we're gonna blind. What did they? They turned it dark, right? They blindfolded them. They turned it dark and everything. They let a bug loose, and whomever the bug lands on their head, you the lucky one. Could you imagine considering yourself the lucky one if like a grasshopper the size of a small cat fell on your head? No, thank you. I'm the lucky one, you say.
But how great is the visual of that scene? It's
very cool.
It's so striking. It's so interesting. It cost $11, but it holds your attention. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Like, you're not going through your phone because you're too busy. Like, what the hell is this? What am I watching right now? Like, it has that feel to it, which is what I think is such a high recommend to this movie. Is that you're seeing these stunning visuals, some really good acting, some clever writing, and you don't have to, you don't have to have a doctorate in movie making to understand what this movie is about. It's just a really clever movie. It's my favorite kind of movie.
But it's just sly enough, like you said, that you go like, oh, I feel like I'm smart or something's going on, and like you give yourself a little bit more credit with it than you would otherwise, I think.
Right.
But it's in a fun way.
Right. And the fact that the competition gets harder and harder as you go through it is also a pretty interesting thing, to the point where the first time I ever saw this movie, what's coming at the end. Like, what the big final competition is, because they set it up at the very beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. And you're just kind of waiting for it the entire time. And that's so fascinating. It's the other thing too, right? Like, Max von Sydow probably did 2 days on this show, right? They probably had him for about 2 days.
Yeah, 2, 3, something like that.
But the genius of this movie, to me, genius is a strong word. The cleverness of this movie is you can feel him throughout the entire movie. You can feel the presence of that character and Max von Sydow all throughout the movie, even though he's barely in it. He's in it for, like I said, he probably shot it for 2 days. And it's just so interesting to me. Like, what the hell is up with that casino? Where is that casino? It's in the middle of like the wastelands. Where are we? Why is that thing there? Why are there so many people there? Why are there no cars? But there's 1 million people in that casino. None of it makes sense. It's so fascinating and interesting to me.
I like how I just kept going. This guy just likes playing slots. He's just got a whole bunch of like, he's walking by just a little one-arm bandit action in his own home. And I'm just like, okay. But having Max von Sydow in there as that kind of like, classic actor that we've all known forever and ever, it does have that kind of gravitas level in there. And while not American, he has that, English, way about him and everything. And that kind of will help, like it helps get people like us in, we go like, oh, I know this gentleman. We'll get on board with this. But he, like you said, he brings that gravitas and like in the way that they treat him, because it's so very interesting that the first time we see him, he's getting set up with somebody. And so he meets him. Tell him exactly kind of what goes on, because it's still a little bit vague for me. Somebody needs to go to him to get Luck taken away.
So beginning of the movie, and here's another, we'll get to the clever part in a minute because we just want plot points here. So beginning of the movie, someone has just been killed in this room. Like you can tell somebody's been killed because there's the bullet hole, there's the blood, and it's not like old blood, it's fresh blood. They're taking somebody out, and there's somebody in the casino. You see somebody in the casino, and they keep winning at craps.
Yeah.
No, roulette. They're playing roulette. He keeps winning at roulette. So everybody's stacking like their regular chips and stuff. He's stacking the big ones that Bond has, the big like the bars that are chips or whatever and shit. So he's putting it. And by the way, not for nothing, but if you're sitting at a roulette bar and there's a guy who's put in 5 orders and they've all kicked off like nobody's business, are you not waiting to the last second and going whoop, sliding right in wherever homie goes? There's an etiquette to it where you're not supposed to do that. That is very, very highly frowned upon.
I'm trying to get my money.
Right. Well, let me tell you something. You would be very hardly frowned upon for that. You would have to walk away immediately after.
Everybody gotta go cash out real fast here. See you.
Bye. Hey, where are we all parked, by the way? Anyway, so this guy keeps winning. A phone call is made to a guy who's just swimming in a pool somewhere. You think maybe works at the casino, and I'm thinking this is like
that's the big boss,
Oh, right, or like it's something like Hard 8 or The Cooler or something like that, where there's a guy who's like he's gonna put the schneid on you so you don't keep winning. Like you kind of know that's sort of what he's gonna do, but what you don't see coming, especially the first time you see the movie, is that guy gets out of the pool, starts getting dressed, and there's a really nice touch. This movie is full of nice touches, but one of the really nice touches of this movie is they're walking down the hall, and the guy who's like the yes man has a tie already tied around his neck and takes it off of his neck and puts it on the guy.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And I was like, that is a really clever bit of storytelling. Like a dumb movie isn't going to do that. So just the tie, walks out to the guy, brushes the guy's hands, and you're like, that guy just got thrown right in the cooler. But guy loses. But instead, what the guy does is he goes to a little slot machine, puts in a chip, bang, hits jackpot. And you're like, okay, this is a little different. We're seeing something different here.
Yeah. So, and now this is the point where like as like kind of a new viewer and everything, which is smart. And the thing that kind of brings you into this movie is that little the breadcrumb there for you. They just, because you do go like, and because they're not telling you any of these things, they're showing you. There's a very visual moment here where he's just like, no, this is what's happening, and is allowing then you to put together exactly what's kind of going on here. Oh, he was winning. All of a sudden, there's a jackpot over here, so something's transferred. So it's a smart way to go about it.
They're showing you that luck is a commodity that can be exchanged between people, and they're showing that to you early on, to the point where you kind of, at the beginning, you kind of sort of understand it, but not really yet. Like they really haven't, like nailed it down, and there's not a character who's like, well, luck is a commodity that could be exchanged. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah.
we don't have that sit down thing where or a cut over to a news program that'll be like, well, these days, you know
Right.
how
Right.
you know how luck is the commodity with which we all blah, 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 blah. No, none of that.
Right. Let me turn in the K plot here so we can get, like there's
At-
none of
at
that.
the right moment.
Right. So there's none of that. And the movie expects you to be smart enough to be able to get it, which is a bit of a reward for watching a finely crafted movie. And so as it goes on, you find out that this guy who's the guy who's taking luck from people, he wants out. He wants out bad because there's so much death and destruction happening around him all the time that he just wants to leave this life. And as he gets stone cold busted trying to leave one night, like without explaining himself, he tries to do an Irish goodbye at the casino. Guy, Max von Sydow's character is like, I raised you from nothing. I can't believe you're doing this to me. And he takes his luck power away, so he's now no longer lucky. And that's where our movie really actually starts.
And see, listen, it's a little confusing for everybody because MVD says, I thought Max von Sydow was giving him the kiss of death. I didn't realize that he was a luck sucker.
Well, it's the way the rules of this movie work are, if a luckier person than you touches you, you take that person has just taken all of your luck away, is the way that works. And the other way you can take people's luck away is if you have the picture taken. If they have your picture, if they possess your picture, which is why it's such a big deal. That's one of the two rules: never touch me, never take my photo. It's the two rules that they set off at the beginning of the movie,
which is a tough one, especially like hey, don't touch me. I'm like, we live in a world where people are just shaking hands and just casually somebody will touch somebody. It's just like, because whenever there's something like that comes up, you start getting a little bit like, or at least I do, like, all right, are we playing the, every time I touch you, we're going back and forth kind of thing? Like, right. You still kind of question, it's like, what quite are the rules here?
Well, it's if you are a luckier person, you are taking that person's luck. That's why the rules are in place in the beginning.
Do you think that somebody tries to steal something from somebody else and just goes like, oh, I'm luckier than you, and then this guy goes, oh, but you're wrong, and he pulls out his wallet, and like inside his wallet there's a picture of his wife who's like really hot or whatever it's called, haha, and he pulls like that's his reverse card, and he just goes, oh, and then he steals the luck from the other guy.
I think if there was an American version of this movie, I absolutely think that scene would be in there, but it's not the American version. We're still watching the Spanish version of this movie. So
they've got a little integrity.
so after that setup happens, after the luck is taken away from one of our main characters here, we smash cut, because it's not confusing enough yet. We smash cut to an airplane that has crashed in the middle of nowhere, and there's one guy sitting in an airplane seat, and they show up there, and that's now the guy who's there. They're like, oh, there's one survivor to this plane crash. He must be the luckiest man on earth. So you're like, oh, another lucky man. Mm-hmm. And they cut him open, and he's got all of this money taped to him, because we find out that this man has robbed a bank, and he was trying to flee Spain, and he wanted to go to the Caribbean and not get caught. But he just crash landed. They know that this is the bank robber that they've been looking for. He is arrested while being hospitalized at the same time.
And this is the kind of guy that you want in your movie because he's dastardly but handsome.
Yeah.
Like, that's right, everybody. I'm kind of the guy that breaks all the rules around here, and I'm going to be the best looking one at it. So enjoy. Let me get myself a little haircut here so you can see my sexiness in two forms. Thanks, pal.
It's true. He is. What does Princess Leia call Han Solo? In
Scruffy
Star Wars.
Nerf herder?
No. Hold on, I'll come up with it. But anyway, so this guy is your main character, and so he meets up with the guy who had all his luck taken away from him from Max von Sydow, and he's introducing him to the world. And this is really how we are introduced to the world. Scoundrel. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
Scoundrel. Thank you, MVD. It is Scoundrel.
He's scoundrelly for sure.
And so, our Scoundrel and the guy who used to work for Max von Sydow That guy is teaching our scoundrel main character how to move around in this world of luck. And my God, man, at this point, we're what? 15 minutes into the movie?
15, 20 minutes into it. By the way, I always thought it was interesting that the guy who had so much luck had that hairline.
Well,
I'm like, dude, what is if you're lucky, wouldn't it grow back or something? I don't know how luck works, but I feel like like, do they try extra hard in other areas? What's going on?
So I've got a real question for you here, and it only comes from when you view this movie multiple times. So Tomas, the scoundrel character, the bank robber guy, is he actually lucky? And the reason why I ask this, we meet him, he's trying to get away from a bank robbery and his plane crashes. Yes, he survives, for sure, that's lucky, but he immediately gets arrested for that. The first thing we see where he's having, like, it's the competition for him for luck. The guy who used to work for Max von Sydow is putting molasses in his hair because the bug loves molasses.
Okay, now that makes more sense.
Is that a rigged competition? Did he rig it so that he would win that game even though he's not lucky? The next thing, they get out of it because the female cop character ruins the game, so there's no winner, right? And it keeps happening. Like with what I think is the most dynamic scene in the movie, and the scene that everyone needs to watch, is them running through the woods, with the blindfolds on and their arms behind their back, which I just think is just, it is a masterpiece of this is clever filmmaking. Like, it's some of the most clever filmmaking you'll ever see in your life. That whole scene.
Real quick here.
He doesn't win. Let me finish.
Okay.
He doesn't win that. He doesn't win that contest. And then there's the final scene where that could have gone on forever also. So is he actually lucky? And I think this time around, this is the thing, like, it's like when you reread Watchmen, like the ending is different each time you read it. This is now the third or fourth time I've seen this movie. I don't think he's lucky after this viewing, but the last viewing where I first had that thought, he seemed lucky to me. So I guess it's just in the mind of the beholder.
Now, didn't they say that like the luck kind of runs out or something like that? Am I remembering that correct? That they like there's a couple of weeks or something and it might disappear on them?
It can drop. The luck can drop on you, but that's why you gain more luck. Like, when you see Max von Sydow like thumbing through his basically a card catalog full of photos, that's how he's juicing it, is that he keeps winning these competitions and stealing everyone's luck power. Because now the second luckiest person in the world is going to play Russian roulette with the luckiest person in the world, and he takes all of their luck.
The toughest Russian roulette in the world, where we're going one empty spot, all the rest are taken with bullets, which is now that's the real Russian roulette right there. That's like us. We're really gambling on this one,
man. I'm still amazed by how clever that is. Like, just how difficult that is. Of like, think of how unbelievably lucky you have to be. This guy's probably had this competition because it happens twice in the movie where three times in the movie where it's Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber, and that's 3 times in a how many days do you think this is? Like 6 months probably is how long this movie, the span of this movie goes. No, because it says 7 years later at one point.
Yeah. They take a little bit of a.
So from the point of there's basically 2 Russian roulettes in a 6-month period, probably.
But yeah, I mean, there's even the one, like, it's called I Give It to You. You've got the the 5 in there, the 1 blank, and he goes and it's empty, hands to him, and then that also, you got back-to-back blinkies on that. Get out of here.
Come on. I also wonder, like, how many people in that moment where you try to shoot I can say this, everyone, where you try to shoot the Jew, you have to hand
part of the character.
you have to hand the gun to him, and then he points the gun at you. How many people try to leave in the room when you were handing the gun to the Jew?
I like, here's how it works. I'm sorry, people. It just goes click, and then you go, huh. Right back.
Right.
You turn it at him. You've got, like, the next one is chambered. You're set to go.
Right.
How that?
Right. But then you don't have a movie.
No, that's true. The movie does end there and just goes like, ooh, we got to clean this up.
And that's another part too, is like just how well thought out it is of the game, where you're walking into the Viz Queen on the floor. So it's like easy removal, like all of that stuff. It's just so very well thought out, this thing. I enjoy this movie immensely.
I thought this as well, Matt. It was pretty David Dunn and Unbreakable to me. There was definitely an Unbreakable vibe there, where it was just like, especially with the plane as opposed to a train accident, it's like, and you're the only survivor. And again, a great way of having this world where, like you said, luck is that kind of commodity thing, of very much just like Unbreakable and Mr. Glass and everything's going like, hey, I've been combing everything, looking for, that magical phrase, the one lone survivor and everything. And I knew that this was, and I thought, what year did Unbreakable come out? Was that
2000?
2000. So yeah, we're looking around the area here. And so that's what was kind of fun about this, is that, like, while I wouldn't go so far as to say this movie was pulling from any of those movies, it's interesting to see a lot of, like, little tiny things plucked from the vibe of the time put into this movie as well. So it's very the milieu of the early 2000s, if you will.
And it is very 2000s-y, like, the quick cuts, the different film stock being used as, like, and like your jaunty angles on cameras. That's all so very early 2000s to me. No
nu metal score, though. That's surprising. No nu metal or grindcore, nothing like that. So
it is Spanish.
Good for them.
It is Spanish. So the other thing about it too, getting to the unbreakableness of it, when you have a script that is touching but not exactly something that came out the year before, you really feel like you won the lottery. Like, where you're like, oh my God, people are prepared for this. Like, this isn't such a weird idea, because Unbreakable already did this, and it's with the guy who made The Sixth Sense. Like, here we go. So the people who are making this movie just must be overjoyed that happened, because it's enough in that lane where you're like, oh, okay, I watched Unbreakable. I totally kind of see where this is going, but it's not so Unbreakable where you're like, well, this stole from Unbreakable.
Yeah, we don't get that. We're turning into superheroes. There's none of that sort of stuff going on. This is more just kind of like a, how do we navigate this quote unquote problem, if you will.
Right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, because I wanted to see what IMDb user reviews, because it's just been such a bounty of material for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see what people were saying, but really what I was looking for, what I was going for, was a crazy person. And thank God.
First of all, you're telling me the internet will deliver on crazy people?
First of all, let me just thank you, Walt Cosmos, for writing this review. I'm not even going to say the entire review because it's way too long, and it really does keep going. And I'm not going to do that to everyone.
Man.
This is a review from Walt Cosmos, written in 2006. So it was still fresh in the man's mind when he wrote this review. It is 1 out of 10 stars, totally unrealistic.
Well, it's kind of like it's a sci-fi adjacent.
Walt Cosmos writes, are there really adults out there like the people in this movie who believe in such mumbo jumbo that is blind luck, as opposed to a Lincoln-esque luck, may be considered a gift from the gods? So how can it possibly be stolen when someone touches you? consider. If you're lucky and you want to keep that luck, get used to spending the rest of your life alone in bed, pal, because sex is all about touching. So that's out. And what's up with these morons running through the woods? The ones who should be cheering are the ones who smashed into the trees, because if your idea of being lucky is winning that race and then playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets and a 6-shooter, then you need help. I'm going to stop it there.
Well, that's it's not wrong in some senses. It's true. You don't want to be that guy who's running.
There are 2 moments in this review that he wants you to know he's a smart fella. One is the blind luck as opposed to the Lincoln-esque luck.
Oh yeah. That's called I'm learned. I know Lincoln.
Absolutely. But then later on, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. Samuel's life didn't seem to be all that spectacular. That's the guy, the old Jew. Sam is the guy. Sam Berg is Max von Sydow's character. Didn't seem all that spectacular. I mean, what exactly did he do except, man, come on. Don't kill me here. What exactly did he do except walk around a casino all day making more money, which he never spent? This is Spain, or a province under the hegemony of Spain.
I wonder, did he know hegemony? Did he have to did he autocorrect for that?
Oh, sir.
Was it raring to go?
No, you know that at school they had just talked about provinces and
Write that down.
That's exactly what happened. So thank you very much, Walt Cosmos, for your 2006 review of this movie, Intacto. Totally unrealistic. He's right. It is totally unrealistic, this movie.
Yeah. It's this is not a documentary. The events do not occur in real time. This is indeed checks notes film.
I got to tell you, I think the character who they keep calling the old Jew, not his real name.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one way to go about it.
So can we get to that part, the part where they're running in the woods?
Yeah, very cool. This is very kind of martial arts movie-esque sort of thing where it's like we're going to blindfold everybody and have you just run through the woods. Because I think everybody can, at least to one degree or another, has done something akin to this. Even if it's just, standing in like a very open field, close your eyes and start walking. There is a scary factor to it. Even if you know that there's nothing else around, there's no one else around. And I used to do this when I was working at the movie theater, right? Because you go up to the projection booth and it's just this long, wide hallway where there's no one else in there. There's no one in. It's just, like 8-10 feet to the left and right of you. You can just walk right down. I would close my eyes and just see how long I could go before you freak out or hit something. And it's scary, even when you know that there's nothing going on. And I was just walking, not bawling out straight, just full on run in a thing of trees, wide open. And it's a scary thing to do. So I couldn't even imagine. So I think anybody can kind of put themselves in that situation of just go, hey, go out into the woods and just put this blindfold on and run straight ass and, as fast as you can. Go.
But it's not just the blindfold. They also tie your hands behind your back.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to go further than anyone else in the competition. So a lot of people are running, not everyone, but a lot of people are running face first through this densely treed forest. And you're watching people run. And I would hold it up to a major motion picture, what's happening in that scene. It's so well shot. The tension is so well represented, and watching people there's a couple of times where you're just like, when somebody smashes their face against a tree, or that one guy who completely takes out his foot on the branch that's sticking out of the ground. It is just Class A filmmaking. And it's really what recommends this movie. If you are trying to get your buddy to watch this thing, just send him a 2-minute clip, because it is on YouTube. Just send him a 2-minute clip of what's happening in the woods, and they will be interested. I promise you, if they have any interest in movies.
Yeah, and the way that it's shot and the just the vibrant green color and stuff of everything, there's enough going on that, like, I think everybody will at least visually go like, hey, whoa, what's going on here? And the striking, visual of all of these people wearing blindfolds, hands tied behind and running fat. Like there's something about it that is inherently just kind of cinematic that you just go like, what is this?
And it's well done enough to where they gave this director 28 weeks later after seeing this movie, which makes sense, because it is, 28 weeks later isn't something where you're handing somebody a film camera and like, hey, here's $75 million, go make a movie. That movie was made for nothing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a couple of stars in it, but they're not huge stars in 28 weeks later. And so it makes sense that, let's give this guy some money. Let's give him some stars and let him make a movie. And he makes 28 weeks later, which, besides the ending, which is kind of weird, like the rest of the movie is pretty great. I like 28 weeks later. I know that's kind of sacrilege to say, but I do like it.
I didn't end. Well, I was in the theater for the movie. But I was in Grauman's Chinese Theater, so like I wasn't digging the movie, but like I could just sit there and look at all the architecture of the room and just go like, who sat in the seat one day? Right? It was just kind of and it was 40 years to the date of Star Wars premiering, so I was just
wow.
That specifically, I was just like, listen, it's 40 years to the day. We are going to Grauman's Chinese Theater. Like, I don't care what's playing. This is what we're going to do. And so that's what we ended up doing.
That's fun.
And it was $15 for a ticket at the time, which seemed like ungodly expensive. And now it kind of seems apropos.
It's very normal. Those are normal prices.
Mm-hmm. I was like, well, listen, it's one of the most famous theaters in the world. $15, that seems to make nothing but sense. Little did we know that's every average multiplex theater now. Great.
If I was going to say there's a weak point in this movie, I think that the actress who's playing the detective, I don't believe that lady's a detective. I believe that that lady is an actress. And that's fine, but I think that's the weak point of your movie. Like, I have no problem believing that that one guy, Alejandro, is a bullfighter. I totally think that guy looks like a bullfighter to me. Like, I totally see that. I just can't see Monica Lopez as a hard Scrabble detective.
Okay. Monica Lopez as a hard Scrabble detective, or Ice-T as a hard-boiled detective.
Oh, she's better than Ice-T. Are you trying to tell me
what?
People monetize luck? Like they gambling with luck?
So Max von Sydow, he's old, right? Yeah, he's old.
Why do they call him the old Jew?
Well, he is old and a Jew. Okay. Let me write this down.
Okay.
Put it in my notes for the file for later.
I'll have my assistant write that down.
God, yeah, exactly. He ain't writing that down. What are you talking about? He must be the nicest guy in the world.
Well,
for as gangster as he is, he must be the most nice guy in the world. Because how the fuck does he keep getting work?
I don't know, man. But he has been on that Law and Order show for 30 years. I can't even imagine what that dude's house looks like.
You're like, he shows up on time. He's polite to everybody. We just like him around.
We give him his 2 pages of dialogue each episode, and we're done here.
This is great. I'm out of here. Bye.
Man.
I'm hitting the lunch truck.
He's got the best gig ever, that guy.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you. So what is your thought after having seen this movie? Is Tomas actually lucky?
That's a good question. I like the idea that he's not. Mm-hmm. I like the idea that that somebody kind of gets roped into this sort of thing. Maybe he has a couple of, flirts with luck and everything, but maybe he doesn't have it like that, and it's just like, people that are on the cusp of luckiness, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
and then them kind of trying to hunt down and like, because I don't know, maybe eventually do you get to where you have everybody's luck or something? That can't be possible. You'd have to just kind of, get everybody.
Right.
And I'm like, that don't work. You can only go so far.
Right. And as far as Frederico goes, the guy who used to work for the old Jew, that character, does that character have the plot in place of stealing Tomas's luck the entire time? Or is it more like, oh, this guy isn't lucky at all, I'm going to steal his girlfriend's luck because his girlfriend wasn't on the plane? Once we learn that Tomas told his girlfriend he doesn't love her anymore, so she shouldn't get on the plane, that he's like, oh, she's actually the one with the luck. Let me cut this photo, and I'm going to take this with me.
Again, very cool kind of stuff to where like you're not screaming everything that's going on to the audience. The movie it allows you to be intelligent.
Yes.
And put stuff together and not spoon feed you like the dumb American movies that we very often get, where it's just like, you need to understand what we're trying. For example, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were on Rogan. They talk Hollywood for a good portion of it, and it's very interesting what all the things that they talk about. But one of the things that Matt Damon said is Netflix has told people, you need to reiterate your plot a couple of times within your movie because people are not paying attention. Yeah, they're on their phone. They're doing all of these other things. So like there's a bit of studio heads, if you will, kind of still pointing to people going like, hey, redo this, do this. People aren't paying attention.
Man, then they're going to love my old scripts from like 20 years ago, because I would have a character like for no damn reason at all, just reiterating what everyone was doing at the time. But that's some Netflix jam. That's some Netflix jam right there. It used to drive me crazy at the table read. I'd be like, damn it, I did it again. It was so good. Anyway. So I will say this about it, right? Is that, again, this is not a movie for like learned, really like actual super intelligent people. This is a movie that isn't spoon feeding you, but it's also not so hard to figure it out that you're like, well, come on, it's not like whenever I would hear David Lynch explain one of his movies, and I'm like, well, where the hell is any of that in this movie? What are you talking about? That never happens on the screen. You never see that. What are you talking about?
I did it on purpose. You know.
Right. Old David Lynch, don't want to speak ill of the dead, but sometimes that guy was weird.
I just do what I want and you're on board. Enjoy. Like, oh, sometimes we do. Other times we're like, what the fuck is this? Dave was just like, I did it. We know. Yeah, overall though, I was kind of this movie is begging for a 4K because it's so interesting, but like there's so much of it. It just looks like you're looking through a used coffee filter.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, it does need it does need to get a 4K release. It also needs help. It needs people to go, you know what? This movie is actually really good.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it needs help. It needs like a Dust Brothers soundtrack. People help. How about just throw some Dust Brothers, Chemical Brothers, any brothers? Throw them in there.
You know what's really missing is corn.
There needs to be a little corn in this. That's what people are looking for.
I think that this is one of those movies that, like, this to me is a truly, actually, honest to God, hidden treasure of a movie. This is not something for everyone, for sure. But if you like movies, if you're somebody who likes to not feel like, oh, they think only dummies are watching this, this is the movie for you. Like, I honestly believe that if this movie is given a fair chance, anyone could like this movie.
It will make other people think that you're cool.
Yes, it will. That is there too. Yes, that is definitely
there is an element of that. It's just like, for example, it's not quite the same. Let's be frank, but When The Matrix came out in movie theaters and stuff, a couple of my friends went to go see it because that movie didn't blow up from the get.
Right.
Took
a while.
And yeah, and so my friends came in and they were like, they saw this new Keanu Reeves movie and we were just making fun of it, just left and right. We're just like, it's not real. Like we didn't even know what the hell anything was, but we were just like, this is hilarious. Then you went to see it and it was just like, whoa, this is different. This is smarter and better than it has any right to be. This movie is, while not to that Matrix level and everything, it does have that same kind of deal where you're just like, oh, this is kind of a sci-fi futuristic-y sort of thing, but not going too futuristic-y. But it's this kind of just off kilter of reality world here and everything. And it works for what it is. And certainly around that time and everything, I think people will quite enjoy it compared to what they might think this thing could be. Yeah.
And again, this is not like prestige movie. Like, this isn't like The English Patient. It's more, I mean, honestly, it's like I pitched it last week. It's way more blood sport than it is The English Patient, man. It's way more blood sport. It's just smarter than that movie.
MBD says, no appearance of Luck Be a Lady on the soundtrack. Movie fail.
Okay. All right.
When you're rolling in that casino, if there's not that playing, or now they're not going to Vegas, so you can't play Viva Las Vegas. Of course, that's going to cost more than this movie cost to begin with to clear. I
would think so. I have no idea how much this movie cost, but I would be so shocked to learn it cost the equivalent of $5 million to make. There's no way.
I'm about to say, like the absolute max, I would say would be 10, and that would be pushing.
Yeah,
that would be like maybe we're laundering a little bit of this money, but
hey, if you want to launder your filthy money, and this is how you do it, keep laundering that money. That's
yeah. Or just do like The Room. However you want to launder your money, you can. There's very levels, as they say. pick your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's time to pick our favorite. I tried to pull something out of my ass and it didn't work.
Oh, dude, you're usually the king of the segue.
It doesn't always land. I was searching for something. I'm just like, shit, that one's a no-brainer. That's a no-go right there.
You know what we need, man? You know what we really need? We need like a little animatic of like Adam segues, and it's just a little Adam on a Segway that runs across. Exactly. It's totally what we need.
I'm gonna work on something like that. Let me write that down. Adam Segway. All right. Write this on the desk.
Remember, Segway and Segway are spelled different.
Segway. There we go. Didn't that guy die on a Segway? He died on his own creation.
Oh no! Did he really?
I'm to understand that. I think that's true.
Oh, that sucks. It's the thing tech guys never think about of like, yes, your idea is great. What you're not thinking about is everyone wants to get laid.
Yeah.
No one's getting laid on a Segway. It's like with the Google Glass thing. It's like, you know why that doesn't work? Because you look like a moron with it.
Yeah,
like you look like the nerdiest nerd ever who shrinks at the sight of vagina. Like, get rid of this. What are you talking about? It's why the Meta glasses are so cool, because they're just horned rim bad boys, baby.
All right, we got to get down to it. Sean, I was going to go Bruce. That's like he ain't here. Sean, what is your rating and recommendation for Intacto from 2001?
I am an unfair judge of this movie. This is one of my Secret Weapon movies. This is a 5-star movie for me. Look, I know it's imperfect. I know it's not for everyone, but man, I want to make a movie like this. So badly. I want to come out of the gate with this thing. Like, man, how great would that be? And you're just like, oh, by the way, I never have to offload a truck ever again because I'm the guy who made Intacto. Like, that's kind of like, if I could make a movie, it would be a movie like this.
It just a business card that just says Intacto on it.
It just wouldn't feel like it. Just I would want to have a DP who is a modern DP and not someone from 2001. But that's about it. That's the only thing. How about you?
For me, I am going to go now. I am going to preface this with saying some of this grade comes from a little bit of the presentation because it was a little bit sloppy, a little bit tough to see, a little bit, a little bit on the skids. But overall, did enjoy the movie, and I believe that this grade could definitely go up with subsequent viewings because this is one that I think would at least warrant one more view. Bare minimum, but once you've kind of figure out what's going on within the situation and stuff like that, and I think that maybe most people you'll go through the first time going, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. But I would imagine upon second watch, this would be much easier. You'd see a lot more of the things, and a lot more things would make sense. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room for upgrade here, but I'm going to go 3.5 stars. Did enjoy, but I believe that upon subsequent viewings, that rating could get better.
No argument from me. I totally can see where someone would say 3.5 stars. You don't have the history with this movie.
And if I could see it.
Oh, there is that too. Yes.
I was looking through cheesecloth.
There is that too.
Might have a little bit of an indication as to the enjoyment of it all.
You know what this movie reminds me of, man? It reminds me of when we started in superhero movies and stuff like that. My buddy introduced me to Grendel Warchild, this book, Grendel Warchild.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that one.
And when you first, and it was the trade, it wasn't from comic to comic, it was the big fat trade of Grendel Warchild. So I'm reading Grendel Warchild on a very long trip. And I have no idea what's going on. I don't know the character of Grendel in comic books. I don't know anything. I think that he's a bad guy. I don't really know. And so when I'm reading that book, I'm like, what in God's name is happening in this book? But it held my attention enough to where I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. People who know what they're doing are making this movie or this book. Matt Wagner knows what he's doing. So I keep reading, and everything starts making sense. And it's starting to make me feel real smart as I go further and further along in the book. And that's just what this movie does to me too. Is that it's like, oh, you know what? I think I might actually be smart. Like when you watch this movie,
if you need a little bit of a boost to your ego, if you've been thinking like, hey man, maybe my self-worth isn't exactly what I want it to be, watch Intacto and you'd be like, motherfucker, I am smart.
You know what? I think I might be smart. Not the smartest man alive, but I can see him from where I'm standing.
Yeah. It's just like he's just over the crest there. You're not too far away yourself. Just keep a dream alive. And we're keeping the dream alive here every single week as we continue on with our foreign films that you may not have seen for non-cinephiles here and everything. And we are banging on next week with a huge one. We talked about it earlier. This is a movie that I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't seen it, and I'll tell you why.
I know why, but go.
Do you?
Because of the people who love this movie.
Well, it was somebody, specifically also in film school who was just like, this was a person who, if memory serves, had not seen Pulp Fiction but saw Amelie. And I'm like, listen, you can see Amelie and that's perfectly fine. But if you are here in the year of 2003 and you are, 22 years old and you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, what are you even, why did you pay tuition to come here?
In Florida?
It don't make no damn sense.
Man, when I started in comedy, I swear to God, this is true. When I started in comedy, I had there was somebody I had to work with. I was forced to work with them, and we were basically on the same level, like comedy wise. And he swore up and down that he hated Saturday Night Live. And I understand that. I totally get that. Maybe you do. You can hate Saturday Night Live. That does not bother me. However, he said he loved Kids in the Hall. And I'm like, nope, that's not how that works, buddy. I love Kids in the Hall and I love Saturday Night Live. But I do understand Kids in the Hall doesn't exist without Saturday Night Live. And if you gave a damn at all about comedy, you would know that. But he swore up and down. And so I had already loved Kids in the Hall. And he made me hate it a little bit because of that phrase. And to this day, Kids in the Hall is still my favorite sketch comedy show of all time. I love those guys to death. I'll see anything that they do, even the bad stuff. And there's a lot of bad stuff. But my God, it makes me think of that. You telling me the story of I've never seen Pulp Fiction, but I have seen Amelie. Get out of here.
It was bananas. I was just like, listen, I'm sure this is great. Or like, what was the Jackie Earl Haley movie that everybody was watching around that time? Was it Children of a Lesser God, something like that? Yeah, there was like stuff like that. All kinds of things. It was
Jackie Earl Haley's in Children of a Lesser God.
Maybe that's not what I'm thinking. I don't know. All right, maybe I'm just all right. Anyways, let's move on. Let's close the show, shall we? We've been going on too long. That is it, everybody. Now, so we didn't tell what the movie was. It's Amelie from 2001. We're staying in 2001, everybody. So we're gonna be checking out Amelie come next week. We're going from Spain to France, everybody. And what do those French do? They do some okay stuff every now and then. A couple of important filmmakers came out of France, so we'll see if they got it still going on in 2001. In the meantime, Sean, where can we find other work of yours on the internet?
I'm on YouTube.
He's be scooting there, everybody. We got the links for that in the show notes. I didn't do TikTok Trash Tuesday because I was working on Tuesday, and my entire sleep schedule just got absolutely effed, and I couldn't do it. So I figure, as opposed to, I don't want, like, as much as the name half-ass is out there and everything, I don't like doing half-assed jobs.
Very good.
I really don't. I like to try to do things very well, as well as best of my abilities. I don't want people to tune in and go like, "That fucking sucked." So I do it. Oh, sorry. Let's just before we close it out here, you got to have it.
Fortress Buff.
Our good buddy MVD dropped in with a $5 and says, "Have you seen Jeannot Corsar's The City of Lost Children?"
Yes, of course, man. The way it works, the way it works with that director is that you, as an American, as a filthy, disgusting American, you see Amelie first, at least when you're our age. You see Amelie first and you're like, well, what else did this guy do? And then the next thing you see is City of Lost Children. And you're like, is this guy the greatest director of all time? And then you see Delicatessen and you're like, this guy might actually be the greatest director of all time. And then you see his modern stuff and you're like, what happened to this fella? Why has he lost it? And it's because he got old.
Well, yeah, people don't really talk about his the Asylum portion of his career that really took up. No, that's I make all that up. So we'll be talking Amelie next week here, everybody. So join us back here, won't you? That is it. Let me go. Oh my God, that will do it. Rather, for this episode of HMP. We'll see you guys next week for Amelie for 2001 for Sweet Sean's and Kovacs from the internet and the absent Bruce Leslie. I'm Adam Porcher, reminding you to get out there and watch some movies, you dirty babies.
Go whale, go.